Hello and welcome to another video on the Fossil Hybrid HR. As a follow-up to my build quality video, today's video is all about this screen protector that I found on Amazon. I've left a link to it in the video description below, but before you go clicking on that, let's find out if it's actually worth buying. The screen protector comes in simple cardboard packaging which doesn't have a picture of the watch or any connection to the Hybrid HR apart from a sticker on the back. Even the installation instructions are for a completely different device. The Amazon product page has a similar issue, and the screen protector doesn't have the best rating either at 2.7 stars out of 5. I've read through all the reviews, and the consensus seems to be that the installation process is terribly difficult, and that it's impossible to get rid of the bubbles, so I'm not exactly filled with confidence about these screen protectors so far. But putting all that aside, let's see what we've actually got here. We get 6 screen protectors, a bunch of wet and dry wipes, and a microfiber cloth. The screen protector is just a bit smaller than the glass on the Hybrid HR, which, as we discussed in a previous video, is slightly curved. That curvature is actually the reason why we can't get a tempered glass screen protector, and we have to stick with plastic ones like these. Now, because the screen protector is slightly smaller, that means the installation process is going to be especially tricky, because I can't line it up to an edge or a camera or speaker cutout like I would for a phone screen protector. This one is going to be centered on the glass, which means I need to get it right on the first try. And immediately I can tell that there's going to be a problem, because it doesn't seem to be a layer 1 sticker or tab that I can use to peel it off from this side of the screen protector. There's only the layer 2 tab, which is this yellow film that you're supposed to take off after you've applied the screen protector. So for layer 1, you have to use your fingernails to try and peel it off, which I'm definitely going to struggle with. On the plus side, if I do mess up, at least I've got 5 other screen protectors to try. For the installation, the first thing I did was put my watch in Do Not Disturb mode. I didn't want it vibrating while I was trying to apply the screen protector. I also switched over to a completely white background and hid the dial so I could focus on what I was doing. Then I cleaned the glass using a wet wipe and a dry wipe to get rid of any leftover dust particles. After that, I switched over to a microfiber cloth to get rid of any potential fingerprints or streaks on the display. Following that, I tried to peel layer 1 off the screen protector, which took a very long time. The problem is that you have to use your fingernails to hold the screen protector down with one hand while you try to peel layer 1 off using your other hand. Either way, your fingernails end up damaging the screen protector. After a few minutes of struggling, I managed to get it off. Then I aligned it to the Hybrid HR as best I could and pushed it down to seal it in place. Once the screen protector was on, I peeled off layer 2 using the little yellow tab, which came off really easily. Unfortunately, my screen protector had loads of bubbles and it looked absolutely hideous. I used microfiber cloth to slowly push the bubbles towards the edges and try to get rid of them, but it didn't really make a difference, so I ripped it off, threw it in the bin, and tried again. For my second try, I followed the exact same process, except I used tweezers to try and separate layer 1 from the screen protector. It worked better, but I still managed to get some bubbles under the screen protector. Again, I used a microfiber cloth to push them towards the edges, and I ended up with a screen protector that looks like this. As you can see, it's nowhere near a perfect installation. The screen protector is slightly off-center, and you can see the bubble underneath here. But for what it's worth, the screen protector had lots of bubbles when I first applied it, and then they disappeared the next day. So if your installation doesn't look good at first, give it a few days and then see if it looks better. The screen protector is obviously glossy, and it's much more reflective than the Hybrid HR's glass display, especially on camera. You can see the wavy patterns on the screen protector cast shadows on the display underneath if you look at it with a bright light, like I'm doing in this video. The shadows also show up when you're outdoors in bright sunlight, as you can see here, but although it looks bad on video, in terms of real-world visibility, they don't really get in the way. I have no problem seeing the information on the dials or reading notifications in any kind of lighting condition. With direct light shining on the glass, you're obviously going to have reflection issues, but in all other cases, it's easily legible. The screen protector also doesn't cause a problem with the glow-in-the-dark hands or the LED lights, which is excellent. It doesn't add any extra thickness either. Honestly, if my installation had been better and it didn't have any bubbles, this would have been practically invisible. It definitely feels cheap and plasticky, and it's not as smooth around the edges, but so long as it protects my watch glass, these are all minor inconveniences that I can put up with. Plus, the screen protector doesn't pick up fingerprints as easily as a glass, which is an added bonus. Overall, this screen protector is decent. The installation process is quite difficult, and the final look isn't as smooth as it could be. I don't know how good it is in terms of actually protecting my watch from scratches, but I'll keep an eye on it and post a follow-up video if I run into any serious issues. And on a slightly related note, if you watched my previous video, you'll know that I used a permanent marker to try and cover up a scuff mark on my watch. If you're watching this video, you'll have noticed that the scuff mark is still there and it's quite easy to spot. So that trick with a permanent marker was absolutely useless. If I run into any other issues, I'll definitely let you know. Until then, if you have any questions, comments or concerns about anything at all, feel free to let me know and I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you and your family are safe and well wherever you are in the world. This has been Zaeem Siddiqui from Zeus Reviews, over and out.